Right, friends. So, warm good afternoon to all of you. I've kept the chat box open just to keep reading your messages. Just give me a moment, and I'm going to start right now. Yes. Uh, okay. So, I'm Sanjeev Shivesh from Think Startup, and I'm the program director of Youth Ideathon. And this session is a awareness session for educators on Youth Ideathon that we are running along with Management Entrepreneurship Sector Skill Council, CENTA, CBSE, now Haryana government, Rajasthan government, many other state governments have participated. Just give me a sec. I'm not sure. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Yes, and if you have any questions about the webinar, you can certainly drop an email to me. My email ID is here on the screen, shivesh at thinkstartup.in. And uh, as we move forward, I'll have more things to share with you. Basically, some of you might have, and I'm assuming because I'm seeing some familiar names, right? Some of you might have attended this session before. And if you have attended this session before, then you can choose to skip it unless you have specific questions for me, right? So I can see Babita, I think she was there yesterday for Center's workshop. There are other people whose name I can see, but happy to take all the questions. Uh, uh, Basically, this session is about, it has two parts. First part is about teaching innovation and entrepreneurship in classrooms. And second part is all about, about Youth Ideathon. What is in it for teachers, how we can encourage students, and how you can, benefit from Youth Ideathon. So, so with this, I come to the first session and first point that I want to make. Some of you who have already seen this would be very grateful if you can hold your thoughts before giving the answers, because uh, I could be repetitive, but that is the thing. It's I'll certainly be glad if I can have some helping comments from you, and I'll be looking at my chat box very seriously. So we have a huge audience, 162 people right now, and increasing from multiple schools. So all the teachers, first of all, this is a, a plea for help from our side, because without you, a program like Youth Hackathon can never be successful. So I'm seriously looking for your support in propagation of message, in communicating this message to the students in your community. It's not just about communicating, but motivating and encouraging them to submit ideas, right? We are also doing in-school programs for this, and if you have any special requests, please keep on putting your request in the chat box if you're looking for a school webinar. So there is a school webinar specific for students, and we'll be happy to do that for your school, right? I have my colleague Vandana. She's here, Vandana ma'am, and she will be noting down all the requests that you are making for your specific school webinar. Now, the format that I would request is the name of the school and your number, such that she can reach out to you and get the webinar scheduled. Okay, so first things first, I will come with my checklist, all the questions in about 30 minutes. But for the first 30 minutes, I need your attention, and that attention is completely on teaching entrepreneurship, right, and innovation. Now, one of the I have a quiz question here, and you can participate. I have put question number one, and the question number one for all of us is of all the 5-year-old kids that we see in our life, how many of those kids would be of the genius IQ level? And I have five options: 5%, 20%, 40, 80, 95, right? So Hita is saying 20%, Mansi is saying 95%, and there's a great lot of variation. So I'm looking for more answers. I'm getting answers of 95, B, which is 20, 5% also, 5% also. So multiple answers, right? So some of you who would have attended would know the answer, but I'm just holding the answers back right now. So, uh, there's a range. Some people are saying this, some people are saying 20%, some people are saying 80%, some people are saying 95%, and there's a complete range. In fact, Rafi Muhammad is saying 50%, which is not the option here. But thanks, Rafi, for participating. I have a follow-on question, and that follow-on question is in the next slide. Please do not send a direct message to me, otherwise, it impedes with my communication with you, because once you do a direct message to me, then I have to disengage with you, and I only want to send messages to everyone directly instead of to one person, right? So the second question I have, and please look at the screen, what percentage of 40-year-old, which is the average age of all the people who are attending this webinar, right? What percentage of 40-year-old would be of genius category? So I'm putting Q2, and I'll take the answers of Q2. I'm getting 40%, 20%, 95, 5, 45. Shilpa is saying voice is not coming. Friends, if you can hear me, if you can give me a show of thumbs, I'll be glad to receive that feedback. Right, show of thumbs. Thanks. Okay, so I'm assuming that my voice is audible, right? Thanks for all your responses. On average, I'm getting about 40% for 40-year-old, right? So why I posed this question was of a big super experiment which was going on at Harvard University. And this experiment was done on a sample set of about 1,600 plus people across multiple age groups. And what they found was something very interesting. They found that 98% of kids, call them kids, right, who are in the age group 4 to 5-year-old, they are of genius category, whereas only 2% of adults, people like us, 40-year-olds, are of genius category. Now that's the phenomenal, interesting finding, right? So 98% of kids are of genius category, of genius IQ level, and only 2% of adults like us are of genius IQ level, right? And if you can see this graph, you can see a downward sloping curve, right? Which means that IQ keeps on decreasing with age. The genius IQ or a geniosity keeps on decreasing with age. So that's something interesting. The other interesting thing which is there in this graph is uh, between age 4 to 15 is the time when students spend time in school, and that is the time when the decrease in IQ is steep, right? From 98%, people who are of genius level, only about 10-12% they remain of genius level while they by the time they complete schooling. And the real thing that researchers asked was what's going on, right? So what's going on? Why is this? So you can unmute yourself and speak. I'm happy to take some of the responses. Teachers, you can unmute and speak. Anyone who wants to speak. Why does IQ decrease and what's going on in schools? Happy to take your responses.
We can give any activities to increase.
Sorry?
We can give any activities like IQ increasing activities, sir.
No, I'm asking a different point, and fair point. I think you're making a good point, right? But I'm asking, why does IQ decrease with age?
So the structured curriculum, there's no creativity.
There is no freedom to show your creativity, or there is no freedom to do what you like.
You're saying no incentive for creativity for adults.
That is
practicing that
and you're forced to
our daily life.
1% at a time, yes.
The timetable of a person ends up being a rut, meaning like at the small age you have freedom to do whatever you like. Your brain is growing, but then when you start school, they help you to study only one kind of studies. There isn't many kinds of studies, introduced to children.
Hmm. And when you say one kind of study,
Schools
what
are
are you alluding to?
syllabus.
It
I'm
focuses only
talking
on
about,
syllabus. It
yeah,
focuses
I'm
only on
talking
syllabus.
about
Yes.
what, as in CBSE for us, things will be helpful for children. Not all children fall into that one category, right?
Got it. Right. Any other
But
comment?
nowadays, schools are only concentrating on
Right.
syllabus.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
make forcing you to do everything instead of giving all your energy into things you're good at and interested at brings down the energy levels and the capability of the child.
Fantastic. Can you just share your name? Because, when you're speaking, I'm not able to see you, and I really want to engage and know who is speaking.
Me, sir?
Yeah. Who was the last person who spoke?
Disha,
Disha. And where are you from, Disha?
Bangalore.
Okay. Right. I have Angel Chavla. Angel, would you like to put your comments? Please raise your hand and come to you. Angel Chavla, your comments.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Please.
according to me, when the children start growing, there's an increase of stress level. The pressure of studying has been increasing. That's why we are not able to brainstorm ideas. Whereas when we see small kids, they are free of ideas. They don't have that much pressure, that much of burden of the hustle in the world.
Got it. So
That's why their
pressure,
level is very high.
pressure of world forces tells us that we should stop being creative.
Good evening,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. Can I have your name, please?
Hello.
Please. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir,
Can I
am
have your
not.
name, please?
Yes, my name is Rajneesh Kumar Singh and I am from DAV Bokaro, Sector
DAV
6.
Bokaro. Yes, Rajnishi.
Actually, I have a question. What are the criteria? How we judge the IQ level of a student? Actually, there may be differences. And what is the criteria basically on which we can
Rajnishi, this
judge
is
the
a study
IQ
which
level?
was Rajnishi, this was a study
Yes.
which was done at Harvard, right? And they took standardized IQ test and administered it across a sample set of 1,600 people, and they were profiled on age, and then they created this bar chart which were able to see, right? So same test to test IQ, and
Actually, sir, the questions which were there to judge the IQ level of any student, is that based on reasoning? Is that based
there
on
are standardized
mathematics?
IQ tests, Rajnishi,
What
and
was the question, sir?
listen, Rajnishi, I think we are getting into a wrong kind of debate, right? The point that I'm making is it was a standardized IQ test. There are a number of standardized IQ tests, and the same test was administered across different age groups, right? And across different age group, when that test was administered, this is the profile of the score, right?
Okay, sir. That means that students are actually over pressurized. That's why their IQ level is.
It could be some people are speaking and not speaking to me. If you can go on mute, it would be better. Right. Or I'll have to mute all, and then what I'll do is, if you raise hand, then only listen. I'm putting everyone on mute. I'm putting everyone on mute. Marut?
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yes.
I am Marut Kalra from Jalandhar, Cambridge Innovative School.
Yes.
So, according to me, what I think is the curiosity level decreases according to the age, because more of theoretical knowledge is given in the schools. And what I believe, our education system is focusing on theoretical knowledge rather than focusing on practical knowledge.
Fantastic.
So
right?
that is why the students lose their interest in the things, and just when their age increases, they lose the interest in what they had interest in, and they just focus on money, earning money, and what to do in life and everything.
Got it. Thanks, Marut. And one of the things that I really want to say, I can see more hands raised. Some of the hands are raised previously, so I'm going to Garvit Salvi. Garvit, can you unmute and speak?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, sir,
Please.
from my point of view, as we become older, we become conservative in our ways, and we don't want to change.
Yes. So fixed mindset, right? There's something called mental conditioning. We are very judgmental. We start passing judgments that this is the only way in which things can happen, and this conditioning really stops us from being more curious, as Marut mentioned. And Sushmita Rani Nayak, I'm asking you to unmute. Can you unmute and make your point?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is Sashmita. So my point of view is, as many of the students said that at curiosity level decreases or pressure develops, I think I want to add another point of distraction, because when the child is 4 to 5 year old, they do whatever they like. There is nothing to be distracted. I hope you understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Do what I
yeah,
like. They are more
yeah, do,
fearless. Are you
yeah,
saying they're
yeah,
more fearless?
yeah.
Yeah,
They're more fair. But there is no hurdle as a part of distraction.
yeah,
But when they grow, there is a lot of distraction. The mind is thinking somewhere else,
yeah,
and they have to be, or they are being put it in a particular place or particular class to do this because this is good for you. But they're
yeah.
not, yeah. But to a 4 5 year kid, there's nothing distracted. Whatever they like, they do. They live
Yeah.
it. They love it. So I
Fantastic.
think that's why they are. I think so.
Thanks. Thanks, Sash, for the point taken. In the interest of, I don't want to cut you short, but in the interest of time, I'm just managing my time. Great
Sure, sir.
point.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Great point. Friends, this is also being put live on YouTube on Think Startup page. So whenever you want to watch this video later, you can go there. But I take this point, right? Curiosity is the wick in the candle of learning, right? And curiosity goes down with age because of this mental conditioning, because of this distraction, because of pressures of life, right? Because of we being very judgmental. And when we are younger, we are more fearless. We are more happy to experiment. We are more okay to try out things. Now, the reason why I brought this up, and before learned educators like you, was to bring home this point that between 4 to 5 year old to 15 years old, when we spend 10 years in our schooling, creativity or IQ is going down. The knowledge component is increasing, but what is recorded, what is studied by a lot of researchers is that creativity, geniusity, IQ levels, those are going down. And that really poses question to all for educators like us, that what is it that we could do to correct this, right? It's not that there is, we don't need that knowledge which is taught at school. We don't need that structured curriculum which is taught at school. But why should it be at the expense of loss of creativity, right? At the loss of IQ levels. And those are the things that is now coming back to us as society, right? So that's the construct of my discussion today. I have question number 3, and question number 3, there are 2 options. You can use the chat box and give the option, give your answers. Please, everyone, what is entrepreneurship? Is it an attitude? It's an aptitude, right? So I'm getting few answers, which is B, 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 right? Very interesting, and thanks, because it really tells me that I am in the company of educators, right? And when you are in the company of educators, you get this answer, right? It is B. When we say it's an aptitude, it's a skill which can be learned. And what we have done at Think Startup is we have deconstructed the whole piece of entrepreneurship into competencies, 10 competencies. And if you start building those 10 competencies, we are closer to becoming entrepreneur, right? A lot of successful entrepreneur, and especially people in the startup world, might want us to believe that that it's a DNA thing. There will be something called entrepreneur gene. Good news is that it has not been discovered, which means that we are on the right path, and we as teachers are on the right path, and we'll make this happen. So with this, I come to another question, and that question is, I hear this whole thing about teaching entrepreneurship. So question 4, what does teaching entrepreneurship mean? Building entrepreneurial mindset, which is EM, or building entrepreneur, which is E? What do you think would be the answer? I see few hands raised. I'll come to you. So Ruchi is saying A, and a lot of people are saying here as A. I saw one B somewhere. It got lost in a flicker. Harinder Pal is saying B, right? And I must tell you, I ran an experiment called, we built entrepreneurship school in Gurgaon for adults. And the idea was there to build entrepreneurs. And we failed big time, right? But what we realized that when we are trying to build entrepreneurs, we are essentially imparting this skill of or competence of entrepreneurial mindset. And so people who are trying to become entrepreneurs, they will fail in first venture. But because they had this mindset skill capabilities, they would move on to build the second venture, third venture, fourth venture. And that's the big learning. I have few hands raised, and I'm going to pick one of those hands. And I have a question for the hands raised, teachers who have raised a hand, is when we say building entrepreneurial mindset, what do we mean? Usha Jagadish, please unmute and I'll take your response. Usha Jagadish, would you like to give your response? Can you unmute? Okay, you are not. Disha Hemant, Usha. Okay, Disha Hemant, can you unmute and speak?
Yes, sir. By building entrepreneurial mindset,
Yeah.
I mean that instead of, being an entrepreneur is to stand on one's own leg.
Yeah.
So you can't really become an entrepreneur from the get-go, because there is no particular way of becoming an entrepreneur, or there is no set rules of how they're supposed to.
So what do we mean by entrepreneurial mindset?
So it means the right values and right thinking of how to be independent and how to stand by oneself.
Okay, thank you. How to be independent. Kalpana Jha, would you like to speak? Please unmute. Entrepreneurial mindset. Kalpana Jha.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I hope my voice is audible.
Yes.
This is Kalpana Jha from Infant Jesus Convent School.
Right.
Sir, I think entrepreneurship is a skill, and which makes you job generator instead of job seeker. So not only this, by this way, you not only feed yourself, you just not only starve your innovative mind, innovative skills, you also generate the job for so many people, and they are working and as well as they are learning under you. So that is something entrepreneurship is all about.
Creator. I take the word creator. Meher Vrishti, if you can unmute and speak.
Yes, sir. Meher Vrishti, this side from Cambridge Innovative School, Jalandhar. In my opinion, to have an entrepreneurial mindset is to have a strong willpower to take the road less traveled. To have an innovative mindset that can, like as the previous person discussed, to generate jobs for others, and to have passions and compassion enough to have the willpower and passion to do what you are doing.
Okay.
To continue to do what you're doing.
Meher, I have just rephrased your word, but I like willpower to take risk, right? So willpower to take risk. I'm now just trying to look at who has not spoken. So Divya Jyoti Chopra, please unmute and speak.
Good evening, sir. This is Divya Jyoti Chopra from Police TAV Jalandhar. I want to add in, being an entrepreneur is a necessity right now. For the reason we have had a slave kind of attitude long since, we were under the rule of Britishers. Now that we are free, we need people who generate, as somebody put in, who generate employment. and who become the creator for the jobs. We are not into the time when we only wish to have people who want to work under someone. Rather, we want people who want to create work for people, other people, so that they may earn and live a good livelihood. So the
Fantastic.
need of the hour is to create something rather than working under someone just to earn the livelihood.
Right. So thanks very much. And I have written one word called BYOB. Anyone who knows what BYOB means? Right? Not people who are in Mohali and Punjab, where it means different thing, but BYOB means being your own boss. And what I hear from you, all of you, is that entrepreneurial mindset is that mindset where we want to be our own boss. It's also about being creative, innovative, have the willpower to take risks, be independent thinkers, free thinkers, job creators, and those are the building blocks. And if we start building those blocks, start teaching those building blocks in school, the chances are better that we are able to create an army of entrepreneurs. Now, just to carry on the conversation, I see more hands raised, but I'll certainly come to you, but I have another question. Now, here's the question. Is the entrepreneurial mindset being a dreamer or a doer? You can put your answer in the chat box. Dreamer or a doer? And I'm okay. So Hita is quickly off the block. Say both. I can see doer, right? Naga Chaitanya is saying doer. Shaheen is saying doer. Angel is saying doer, and I'm getting either both or doer, right? So which means that when I start getting more answers, then I think that I've put in the right question. So thanks very much for your answers. Basically, if you think in terms of what's going on when it comes to entrepreneurship, and please focus your attention on my screen. And on the screen, if I draw X and Y axis and call one axis the dreamer axis, right? Dreamers are people who gets ideas, they get nice ideas. And the higher you are on this axis, which means you are a better dreamer or more creative, good ideator, etc., etc. And the x-axis I have plotted and kept it as a doer axis. And the higher you are on the x-axis, which means your ability to act is very high. Disciplined action, right? Now, I've been researching this with a lot of entrepreneurs and successful people and non-entrepreneurs and A-grade people and everything. And what we realize is that mostly entrepreneurs are somewhere here. If you can see this small bubble out here on the top right, right? So very high on dreamer and very high on doing, right? So it's a combination of both, but both on the extremely about 80 percentile and above, right? People who are here low on dreaming and low on doing, no chance of becoming an entrepreneur. Then we have a lot of people who are great dreamers, all dream, no action, and nothing happens out of them. Then we have a whole lot of people who are very good at acting, but they don't have any dreams, no creativity, and they are not able to do anything great out there, right? But the best entrepreneurs are those who are able to combine dreams with action, right? So when we are trying to build this army of entrepreneurs, or when we're trying to build this whole thing called entrepreneurial mindset in our classroom, essentially, I would urge all educators to focus on this aspect. So thanks until now for listening to me very carefully. Now, here's another question, and if you can raise your hand, I can see, and then I'll come to you, right? I'll ask. So what, according to you, is risk, right? So friends, okay. So I go to Yash Chir Sagar. Can you unmute and speak?
Yes, sir. I am Yash Sagar from Holy Faith English School.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, risk means that a mindset that is needed for doing everything.
Mindset,
there is always a risk behind it.
Okay, mindset to do everything. Gurpreet Kaur, can you unmute and speak?
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
According to my point of view, risk is that when we are able to bear the negative effect of anything.
Wow. So ability to absorb the negative effect of anything. Very deep answer, Gurpreet. Thanks
Thank you, sir.
for a lovely answer. Brajesh Kumawat, can you unmute and speak?
Yeah, good evening, sir. I am from Bangalore, Vedi School of Excellence. The same thing what just ma'am said. Risk means we have to get the mindset ready to face the any consequences when we start up any business or when we become an entrepreneur.
Okay,
So
but I'm
it
asking a
was
question.
lots
What
of
is
things.
risk? One is the ability to absorb risk. That's one mindset. But what else is risk?
Risk is the sir. It is related to same only. Yeah.
Okay.
To develop the mindset
Okay.
to face the situation and to bear the consequences.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
mostly it goes in the negative impact of it only. If anything happens, we should be ready to
Mohammed
face.
Karim, can you put your thoughts? Mohammed Karim. Okay. Rajneesh Kumar, your thoughts, please. Rajneesh Kumar Singh. Please.
Actually, sir, according to me, when we work now, when we start anything working on, the uncalculated things which we have not calculated or thought about, that all are risks which are coming on our way.
Got it. Right? Uncalculated, unforeseen, the unanticipated things. Okay. If you have anticipated, then perhaps it is not a risk. Okay. Shiti Prabhu, can you unmute and speak?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think risk is the ability to come out of your comfort zone and try something new.
Very good. So comfort zone, right? And what stops us from coming out of comfort zones, Chiti? What stops us? Prachi, Satam, would you like to add? What stops us from getting out of comfort zone? Okay, you're not able. Kanchan, Wali, would you like to add?
Sir, it is the degree of fear.
It's the degree of fear, right? So some sort of fear, right? That
fear, fear of failure.
Fear of
right.
failure. Ab kya
We
hoga?
may or may not do.
Yeah, fear of failure, right? Fear of failure. And that fear of failure is something that stops us from taking risk, right? And there are a number of words that people use to describe the failure or that fear. So Abha Kumari, would you want to add anything? Abha Kumari, ma'am?
Answer, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
same answer. Fear of failure.
Fear of failure, right? So friends, I'm moving forward and I want to show you. Let's do this exercise. I hope you can see this, right? You know all that. What is this? A matchbox. What next? You can use the chat box to put your answer. What next? What will happen now? Bring matchstick. Okay, no brand. It can light. Okay, I try to sell it. Explosion, right? Krishna, explosion, right? Okay, ignite. We can use the box. Spark to start, to light something, right? Cigarettes. Okay, take risk to start. Spark, brandless matchbox. I'm seeing a lot of answers, right? Light the lamp. And with this simple exercise, right, brightness, and I'm getting some wonderful answers from all of you. Use it for craft. I can see temple, right? We can use this matchbox in temple. It's coming out of the box, knowing it might be the next one to be burned, right? So Disha is giving some more meaning to it. Change of mind to do something. Power to ignite brains. Okay. So listen, friends. Quite often when we put this thing in front of a set of audience, they are able to see this. Can you see my screen? Right? Most people are able to see this. When I show the matchbox on the left side, most people are able to see that, okay, there's some sort of fire that, which comes out of this, right? So, and we are discussing risk, right? And in that context, I have another picture which I want you to appreciate, and let's see what answers I get. So imagine that there's a young baby. I hope you can see the screen, right? There's a young baby, and the kid has a matchbox in his hand. He's trying to see things inside. And on the left-hand side, you can see there's a toy blade fan, right? A blade fan with this whizzing sound, it comes and you can, the blade is moving and all that. And there's a torch, and this is it. Now, if there is a mother, what is she going to do? If there's a mother, what is she going to do? Take it away, snatch the box, take away, snatch the box, okay, right? Thank you, keep it away, right? And this is the real problem, right? When we start thinking in terms of a matchstick which can generate small amount of fire, and a kid, so someone thinks that the kid is going to open the box and eat the match away. Someone will think that I don't know what's going to happen, it will rub something and fire will happen. The mother who said that there's a battery, you don't know, he will burn the whole thing and battery will explode and all that, and there's this fan which cut sakta hai. All those kind of things happen, right? Now, thank you, thanks for your answers. Now the point that I'm trying to make is, now this thing, if this is the scene of a classroom, how does the outcome change? If this is the scene of the classroom, how does the outcome change? Right? Like, it could be your classroom, you're the teacher, and there's a kid in the classroom and he's having this matchbox and all that, and different people will respond to this scenario differently. Quite often, chances are teachers are going to snatch away this matchbox from all the school students, right? Why are you having this matchbox? Are you smoking, right? What are you smoking these days? And different kinds of questions will come. And why is this blade fan doing all this? But the reality is, and I'm able to read some of the interesting answers, is that this is also a place of experimentation. This boy will have this matchbox, and with this sound he starts playing and then starts opening up and he starts learning, and now learning is there. But the moment you snatch this away, this learning goes away. Now this extreme example which I just gave to you, it keeps on happening inside classroom in different forms. Instead of matchbox, there would be something else with a student. Instead of this baby, there will be a little adolescent student out there, but the reaction of teacher and student is still the same, taking things away, right? And when you take things away, what we are doing is we are taking away the learning opportunity which is going to be there, right? So the moment you remove risk out of anything, failure goes down, we cut down failures, and also we reduce learning, right? So curiosity goes, and I'm getting some brilliant answers from all of you, right? So I will take some of few of the responses, but just allow me a moment. Now, basically, if we have to develop risk taking, and the question that I'm asking to all the teachers, and if you raise hand, I'll take some of the answers. So don't go back to that experiment. But the question that I'm posing to all the teachers is, how will you develop risk-taking inside classrooms? And I'll take 2 or 3 responses. First response, Usha ma'am. Please unmute and speak.
Yes, sir. Taking a risk means those who are dull in our class, those who are very poor performance, in that kid where he is lagging, what is problem he is facing. First, we should know that. That is one risk.
Yeah.
Later, you can give solution.
Would you add anything? Sashmita Rani Nayak, please unmute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll add.
Yeah.
Sir, risk taking. So, what to develop this risk taking, I will do one thing. I'll allow the children to give them many of the students say that we don't know how to draw a diagram. Okay. So let them draw whatever I always used to say your diagram should not be artistic. It should be scientific. So let them draw. Let them draw. It could, the cell could look like a amoeba, could look like a monster, but fine. I just want to see the cell membrane.
I love it, right? So let amoeba look like monster. It does not matter, but draw.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It should be scientific. That's all.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for a wonderful answer.
Thank you so much.
Hita Hemant, can you unmute and speak?
Yes, sir. In schools, developing risk taking, we should be allowed to, do things. Like, for example, in our classes, if we go to the chemistry lab, we are not allowed to use the chemicals and all of that until like 11th grade, until you know actually choose science. And so we don't really have an option to get hands-on experiments to understand it better. I
Okay,
mean,
fair
yes,
point. That's fair point. Okay, Sunil, would you like to speak? Unmute and speak. Sunil. Okay, Sunil is taking time. Jasveer Kaur, would you like to unmute and speak?
Yeah, sir. So risk taking, when we say, that means facing uncertainties. Because the word which I feel is risk means uncertainty. So facing uncertainty will happen only when you experiment, when there are challenges thrown. If you follow the same routine, same thing, then risk taking would not happen. So for that, we need that there should be the challenges thrown and let them come up with their own solution. Don't give them fixed solutions or put them in the fixed.
And be willing to accept, right? Very often we are not in the listening mode. Right?
So for that, teacher has to be ready that there can be different solutions.
Fantastic, right? Sunil, you want to say something? Please unmute and speak. Okay. Sunil is taking time. Shall I ask who is there? I can see Yash Kundu Chirsagar. Yash Khandu Chirsagar, yeah.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
From my point of view, develop risk-taking means to write your answers in your own words rather than to by heart them or just mug up.
Fair point. Fair point. Sunil, you want to say something?
Yeah, sir. I want to just add to give freedom to children.
Yeah.
Right. And so that they speak and express regardless of right and wrong.
Fantastic, right? So we are getting great answers here, right? And what I want to show, just bear with me for a minute, right? So I hope you can see this, right? And when you see this, it's someone who's trying to climb a mountain. It's extremely risky endeavor, and the risk is the risk of fall from here to there, right? Now, if this was my classroom, how do I mitigate this risk, right? And people have found answers to this. So if you can look very closely, you can see a rope here. I hope you can see a rope here. And that rope is something which is helping this chap. If he falls, then hold on to the rope. And these are put on the nail side that, you know, even if you fall down, then you don't fall from top right to the bottom. Instead, you fall a few feet or, 2 or 3 feet down. And basically, if you start thinking in terms of risk, if you look at this diagram here, picture here, and think of risk, it's something which is made up of 100 of steps. But typically, when we start thinking of risk, we are able to see this big a fall. Now, if you have not planned it well, you will fall this high, right? But if you have planned this well, then you can fall only 1 step or at max 2 steps. Right. So we as teachers, when we have to plan our curriculum, our courses, where we have to encourage risk taking, we have to plan for those small falls rather than huge fall, where if you fail, then the real challenge comes is log kya kahenge? What will people say? People are invariably going to laugh. Hey, ye gir gaya tha, right? Did you see this man fell down? And that's how ruthless society is. But we as educators, we can make these falls easier, simpler, easy to fall, right? And avoid these big accidents, right? So that's the job of educator. With this, friends, basically, I want to now come to the second part, because I realize that we have only about 10-15 minutes. So in the second part, I want to talk about something which is about the Youth Ideathon. So Youth Ideathon is the festival of innovation that we are organizing in partnership with CBSE, Ministry of Skill Development, Bajaj Allianz, IIT Roorkee. TIDES is a business incubator of IIT Roorkee Center, and I represent Think Startup. I am the program director of Youth Ideathon. And my colleague Vandana, she is here. So if you have any questions, put the questions and we're going to talk about those questions. The theme of Youth Ideathon is Mera Idea Jo Badal De Bharat, right? So we are looking at Youth Ideathon for school students between class 4 to class 12 to submit ideas which are transformative, which can which can change India, which is good for India, which was good for economy, which is good for society, and those sort of stuff. So, and in that connection, we are seeking support of teachers, and this is the scheme which we have created. There is a WhatsApp group. If you can note this down, there's a school teachers WhatsApp group, https tinyurl.com YI22WA. It's a WhatsApp group. So if you go there, then we can start communicating with each other much faster, simpler, easier. So I will share in the chat window also this WhatsApp group, but if you can go there, it will be fine. Now, last year we had great success with your support. We touched more than 2 lakh students, 62,000 students participated. They submitted ideas, so many teachers trained, etc., etc. So all those things happened. Again, these things are going on. Basically, we want every school student to dream big, right? It's all about dreams. I plotted the dreamer doer axis, if you remember, dreamer doer, right? Dreamer doer, and we want to build up this generation of dreamers doers. Only then India can move forward. And in this endeavor, the biggest role is of school teachers like you who are here. We are going to provide prototyping support to school students. We are going to provide incubation supports. There's angel funding. And together we are in this journey. Think Startup, Youth Ideathon, CBSE, Haryana government now, Rajasthan government now, and many other state governments who are now participating. So this is it. The Youth Ideathon has 5 stages. Just bear with me for about 5 minutes and I'll take questions. So 5 stages. First stage is to submit idea on the Youth Ideathon portal, right? The Youth Ideathon portal is www.youthideathon.in. You can really, I'll just put it on the for everyone, www.youthideathon.in. I just typed that portal name. You can go there and there you'll find submit idea, and school students can submit idea. Now there are a few catches out there. Now what's the catch? Ideas can be submitted only in teams of 3 to 5. And the last date to submit idea is 30th September. Earlier we had put 20th September. Now we have made it to 30th September because we realize a lot of schools are going through their term exams and those sort of stuff. So that was a request which we are getting, and that's how we have changed the dates by 10 days. But it will not go further than 30th September because this competition will get over on 20th October, right? Top 1,000 teams will get selected on 30th September, and they will have to make a YouTube video pitch, which will be evaluated by more than 200 evaluators all across India. Then we come to what do you call top 100 team selection, where these teams, they get interviewed on Zoom, like what we are doing now. Then top 25 teams get a prototyping award of 10,000 rupees, which will be distributed through the school. And if you are the mentor, then you get a award of 5,000 rupees from Centa, who's our teacher partner. And there are various other awards that I'm going to talk. So this is the award for mentors whose students are in top 25 in India. And then top 10 teams each get 1 lakh rupees of incubation grant. Now this date is all set. On the next sheet, I have all the important dates for you. So 30th September is the idea submission date, and 20th October is when the final will be celebrated. In between, we have all the other intermediate cutoff dates. Now, I want to share about the awards. There are awards for all various kinds of awards. This is the award that I spoke. 10,000 rupees prototyping plus 5,000 rupees grant for school teachers. Then the top 10 getting 1 lakh rupees. Teachers, if you are okay, just give me a second. You can. Okay, just give me a second. I will give the WhatsApp group details. Just give me a sec. You are asking WhatsApp group detail. I'm just putting, friends, give me a second. Group link I'm putting in the chat box because someone is asking. Invite, copy link. I've put a WhatsApp group detail. Can you please you see the link? This is a WhatsApp group for school teachers. Please use that link and come to the WhatsApp group. Right. So join that link. There are many awards. Teacher of Innovation Award, which will be given to people like you. There's School of Innovation Award, and I'm going to talk about some of the interesting awards, right? So if you can see here, this is a School of Innovation Award. If your school submits 300 teams, and there are schools which are already there, right? You get this award. If your school submits 100 teams, you get this award, right? And for all the schools which have registered, there is top 3 award. This is for the school. Now, for the teachers, there are 3 kinds of awards. So you as teachers, if at the end of if we get 10 teams from you, you get a particular kind of certificate. You get citation if you submit 25 teams, send 25 teams, and you get a trophy if you send 50 teams. So on the idea form, students have to write the name of the teacher, and that's how we will know who is sending which student and how teachers are there. So that's it. How to submit idea? I'll take another 3 minutes before I take your questions. To submit idea, students have to form teams of 3 to 5 members. They are to be from class 4 to class 12, and I'm getting some noise. Can I put mute all to all? Just I'm putting mute all to all. Just give me a sec. Mute all. I'll unmute you at a particular stage. Ask students to have the basic details like parent details, their phone number, email ID, because that's how we are going to communicate with everyone. And this is something called mentor details. So a teacher is a mentor, and they have to also enter the mentor details. So these details they have to keep ready. And once they are ready, then they have to brainstorm 5 questions in team. These 5 questions are fairly simple. Describe the idea in brief. No one will upload any information. Only they have to write in about 5 sentences the big idea. And then there are 5 multiple choice questions. How did you get this idea? What is the stage of idea? So from the checkbox, students have to select, and that's it. That's the information which has to be given. Ideas can be submitted at a portal, at the Youth Ideathon portal, youthideathon.in/submit-your-idea. That's the portal where the ideas can be submitted. Participation is completely free. So there's no charge on anything. Sorry, last date is 30th September. And if teachers, if you need any help, please note down this number. If you need any help, please note down this number. And this is how we will move ahead. So this is 9873474756. So that's it. I am done. If you have any questions, I'm unmuting. I'll take about 3 minutes because the next session will start with right. If you raise your hand, I can take questions. So anyone can now unmute. Kalpana Jha, your question first. Kalpana Jha, your question. Okay, Rajneesh Kumar, your question. Please unmute. Anyone who has question, if you want to, Yashraj,
Yeah.
Yes.
Is my voice audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask a question: is that like how would we, submit our ideas? Like in which kind of way?
It's an online portal. I put the address of the portal, right?
Is it like a PPT or something, or like?
No. It's a simple online form, like a Google form, where there's no upload to be done.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, I'll also share if you join the WhatsApp group, then I'll also share the video link which you can circulate to students how to submit ideas.
Definitely.
Okay, Sunil, your question. Okay, Gurpreet, your question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any WhatsApp group for students as well?
Yeah, Tapti, there's a WhatsApp group for students. Can you send a message to the number which I sent to you, and you will put in the group, right? Did you note down that
Sir,
WhatsApp?
can you please?
Okay. Can you note down the number 9873474756?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Any other question?
Excuse me, sir. This is Mohammad Kareem.
Yes, Kareem.
I'm sorry, sir. I just want to know the any last date for student registrations or something like that. The participant members.
No. 30th September is the last date. That's it.
Okay, that's it. Because in advance we don't need to register a student's name.
Yeah, but schools are registering because if schools register, it's very easy to track. So on the
I did.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
did
What
that.
school are you?
Army Public School, Golconda. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Sorry.
Got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any question from anyone else? I'll take two more questions. Now, friends, if you are looking for certificate for attending this session, teachers, first you have to ensure 10 participation and certificate comes to you immediately. Okay. Please join the WhatsApp group. We'll be there in touch and we'll help you out. Can't hear. Can't hear. Someone is speaking. I just can't hear. Okay. So with this, I close.